If you look closely in this form, okay, you see an automatic and manual section, isn't it? Now, I do get this question quite often from my learners. Do I have to book a test for automatic or manual? Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you are doing a test, or if you are learning with your instructor or your family members, today's lesson is really important, because in this lesson I am gonna talk about your DL25. DL25 is a driving test report form where your examiners marks your faults. Okay, so previously, we were given a test report summary when we have a test, like it's a piece of paper. I can put it on the screen now. So it's a piece of paper, what we used to get back in days, where it's all marked there, like it tells you your faults, okay, where you have done a mistake. Nowadays, you get an email saying this is your fault, whether you have successful in your test or unsuccessful, and then they list your faults out. Okay, like for an example, if there's a fault saying positioning, normal driving, so you probably wouldn't know what is positioning, normal driving is, unless your instructor told you about this before, or sometimes even your examiner explains what is the actual problem is. So in today's lesson, we just try and understand this DL25, and then we'll try and go through it, and then let's see how this can help you understand better about your driving test. Okay, firstly, let's just understand how this DL25 works. Okay, so DL25 is basically where your examiner is marking your faults. Okay, they only mark your faults. If you do something good, it's not be marked. Okay, so it's only mark your faults. For an example, let's say you have done a serious mistake turning left. You haven't looked into your mirrors, and there's a vehicle behind you. You haven't looked into your mirrors, so you got a mark on your observation. Okay, and after that, every time you turned, you signaled, you looked into your mirrors, you did everything that you should be doing, and you have done everything properly, everything nicely, perfectly. But see that first mistake that you have done at the beginning of the test, that stays. It's never going away, unless you have driven exceptionally well and you have not done any other major mistakes, and then your examiner is like on 50-50 whether to pass or fail. And if you're really lucky, they can use their discretion to not to fail you. Okay, to be honest, that happens really, really, really rarely, but it can happen. Okay, it can happen, but they always marks your faults. Okay, and once they have marked the fault, it's not going away. It is staying. Okay, well, after that, whatever you do, how much ever you drive well, that fault is staying. Now, there are two different faults. One is minor fault, one is major fault. Minor faults are driver faults, like where you have done a mistake. Let's say, for an example, again, you turned left and then you didn't look into your mirrors, and then it didn't affect anyone. There is no vehicle around, there is nothing around. You might get away with a minor fault. But if there is somebody behind you or there's a cyclist behind you, it can be a major fault. Now, major fault are two types. One is serious fault, another one is dangerous fault. Now, serious fault is mainly your examiner didn't have to like intervene, like take control, and without taking any control, if you have somehow obstructed other person or other vehicle, it could be a serious. Or let's say, for an example, you went really close to a vehicle where you got a clearance fault, but then your examiner didn't have to take control. it's a serious fault. Like you went really close, and then examiner didn't have to, but then your examiner thinks this is a serious, and we are too close. They might not take control of your vehicle. But if they have taken control, if they have hold your steering wheel or applied the foot brake of theirs, then it becomes a dangerous fault. So your major fault are two types. One is serious and one is dangerous, depending on how your examiner have taken control of your vehicle. Okay. Now you have 15 minor faults. You are allowed 15 minor faults or 15 driver faults. Okay. If you get 15 faults, you can still pass. To be honest, in my whole career, I have seen probably one person passing the test with 15 minor faults, but usually you get about like 10, 12. Sometimes it can be like 17, 18 minor faults, then it's a fail. But somebody passing 15, I think it only happened once. So if you get 15, you can still pass. 16th is the fail. But if you get more than like 3-4 faults in one particular section, then it accumulates, and then it can become a serious fault. Like let's say you constantly over the speed limit about 2-3 miles every time, and then you're marked minor faults, minor faults, minor faults, and you got 4 or 5 minor faults in that section. The examiner might say that this is a repeated issue with your driving, so you probably have to improve it and then come back for the next time. So they would say, okay, there are 4 faults, 5 faults, and then this is a serious fault now. So on this occasion, you are unsuccessful. I mean, which is obviously heartbreaking, isn't it? So if you're doing your test or having a lesson, my advice would be download this D25 form. Go through it, okay? Go through it properly. Try and understand each and every section, okay? Each and every section. And then if you're not understanding a particular section, do ask your instructor. They would be able to help you, and they would be able to explain you further on what is it, and then how can you get better. Obviously, I believe most of the instructor does this. They use the reference of this DL25 to make you understand what the fault is and how can you rectify this fault. Okay. If you look closely in this form, okay, you see an automatic and manual section, isn't it? Now I do get this question quite often from my learners. Do I have to book a test for automatic or manual? Look, you just have to book one test, okay? It don't have to specify what test you're doing. Obviously, you have to take your own car. Your test center does not provide any car. So the car you'd be taking, that is the license you're going to get. For an example, if you're taking a manual car, you're going to get an manual license where you are eligible to drive both the vehicles. But if you're driving if you take an automatic car, then you would be given an license for the automatic. Okay. And if you take an electric car, you would be given a license for only electric. No, I'm just joking. Okay. I mean, all the electric cars are automatic cars, so you will be given an automatic car, not the electric car. Okay. Yeah, so that is the only license you get, an automatic. But the problem is, if you get an automatic car, you're not allowed to drive a manual car. Okay, so you are only restricted to automatic. So to able to drive a manual car or get a manual license, you probably have to book another test with them, DVLA, and then change it over. You would have to do one more test to show them that you are competent changing gears. So again, my advice would be download that DL25 form, have it on your phone. Just go through all those sections and then discuss with the instructor. They would be able to help you to make you understand what is every section means, and then how can you improve your driving. If you're not sure, and then if you want me to explain some of the sections you may not understand, drop me a question in the comment section, and I will try my best to explain it is, and then how you can get better in that section. Hopefully in this video I have explained how this DL25 works, and then how can this be a good guide for you to understand more about your driving, in-depth understanding about your driving, and this might help you passing your test. Okay, so if this video helped you, please subscribe, share, and then hit the like button, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, take care. Bye bye.